I don't want to self-diagnose myself with anything, but it's like every 3 days a game. You know, you're always preparing for something, and anyone that says they're not stressed or anxious or have a little bit of nerves would be lying to you. Like, that's just the world that we live in. Like, whether you can control it or not control it, it's just the world we live in. Pressure creates that in a human being. For me, again, it's just giving me time to really realize the life that we live, how blessed we are, the people that are in it. Those are the tangible things in life that I think sometimes we get lost of. If anything, I've been putting more time into the game to make sure that I recover and come back stronger, but it just gives you time to take a step back and really put into perspective everything. Episode 2. I'm in a really good spot mentally. It's frustrating, I think, to have an injury in the middle of the season, but it sets me up in a good position to recover and help the team towards the end of the season, and then ultimately be involved in hopefully another World Cup and an opportunity to represent my country.
Some worrying news as it relates to the US men's national team, because Manchester United took on Bournemouth today. Tyler Adams had a bit of a collision, went down and ended up hobbling off. You can see him colliding here with Man United's Mateus Cunha.
It's such a routine play in our sport. Like, you go into to block a shot, the ball hits your foot. It's either a clean tackle, a foul, whatever the circumstances are. But in this circumstance, in this instant, I knew right away something was wrong. And it was typical. I knew it wasn't something major. It's something that, you know, the ball hits your toe, you rotate your foot a little bit, you hurt the inside of your knee, and that's exactly what I did. But yeah, it was frustrating because it was a big game for our team. I thought we were starting to turn the tables a little bit from a run that was very difficult, but the team came through in that game, and we ultimately got a point from it. But anyone that knows me knows I try to play through everything. So the fact that I came off in the first couple of minutes of a game was crazy to me, and I think crazy to everybody else. But I knew it wasn't anything major in terms of, you know, multi months, but I knew it was going to keep me out for probably a little bit of time. Things in the past are things that I've tried to come back from too soon, and you learn from them and you gain wisdom from them in terms of learning about your body. When's the right time to come back? When's the right time to push? When you need to be patient and just trust the process. And in this circumstances, it was completely out of my control, and that's why I came to terms and dealt with the situation really quickly. And, you know, now I'm in a good spot right now. I think I'm probably even a little bit ahead of my recovery in terms of timetable, but again, I don't get too ahead of myself.
The best phrase that someone's ever said to me over the years, and I've been here nearly 33 years now, is, if you cut me open, I'd bleed red and black. To me, that means I've put everything, my heart and soul, into AFC Bournemouth. I came here when I was 19. I moved from one end of the country in England to the other in 1992, and I've been here ever since. We're the underdogs. We've come from nothing. We've come from almost one game going out of existence in 2009 to 5 seasons later in the Premier League. A story that will never be told ever again. I think Tyler fits our profile perfectly. He's very understated as a player, and we go under the radar as a football club. We don't shout from the rooftops, but within that you need the players who also have the same thought process. And Tyler epitomises that for me. First and foremost, his professionalism, his attitude. He came to the football club and straight away, he walked in the building, shook everybody's hand. He wanted to learn about the club. He'd done his homework, he come in, he knew things about the players. I think that's brilliant, because obviously that means he wants to be part of the culture of the club. He bought into it straight away. He's what I call an unsung hero. So he wasn't the Antoine Semenyo's, he's not getting lots of goals, he's not in the limelight. I don't like having favourite players, but if I did, he'd be. He knows it. Anyway, he knows this, by the way. He is one of my favourites at Bournemouth, just because of the way he plays. And I always say, when Tyler Adam plays well, the team plays well. And he plays well a lot.
Everyone thinks New York, they just think New York City, Manhattan. Born in Poughkeepsie, New York, early stages of my life were in Poughkeepsie. Then I moved to Wappingers Falls, where my grandmother lived. Where I'm from is quite quaint, suburban. You know, like I have neighbors with yards, and you know, we have parks down the street with a lot of green fields and, you know, farms and stuff like that. So it's a lot more quiet, a lot more my speed, and I think that's why, you know, even coming over to a place like Bournemouth now really resonates with me. It was really just a lot of quality time with me and my mom, and you know, I'm extremely thankful for, you know, having her in my life. She did so much for me as a single mother until she met my dad, obviously. She was trying to get her degree in school at the same time, so I remember spending long nights at the library with her while she's studying for tests, and you know, all these people in the library are probably like, who's this little kid running around, like what's he doing here? But you know, thankfully it allowed my mom to get her degree and, you know, get the job that she wanted. And you know, it was always me and my mom. Wherever we were going, whatever we were doing, she would make sure she was there to support me. And she never tried to cross that boundary too much of like trying to be a father figure. Like she was my mom, and she let me know that from an early age. Like I'm mom, you know, your dad's not in your life right now, and that's that. Like we move on. Do you know what I mean? And I'm thankful for that, because you know, when the opportunity arose, when she met somebody, and you know, it's who I call my dad now, came into my life changed for sure. And having a father figure and having brothers definitely shaped who I am, because, you know, you try to tell any only child that you're about to gain 3 brothers and a dad, it can get sticky really quickly. I think our relationships are all formed off of those first interactions, and we never forget them, and that's why we have so much love for each other now. My mom was my first coach, and you know, she grew up playing soccer as well. The purple team, purple jerseys. Yeah, she introduced me to soccer. I think it was just because I had so much energy, and she just knew I was going to be able to run around outside. And ever since that day, I remember it, just no second guesses about it. That was my sport. That was what I wanted to do. I think growing up, I enjoyed basketball more. And then when I realized I'm not going to be 6'5", I was like, I got to call it quits. It's time to play soccer. Thankfully, I got invited to an RDS program, which was Red Bull Development Schools, and one of my friends asked me if I wanted to go to a camp in the summer, and my mom was like, it's expensive, I'm not quite sure we can manage that, but if that's something you really want to do, we'll try and figure it out. And thankfully I was able to get there, and from that camp I got scouted by Red Bull. I guess we can say the rest is history. Everyone puts on this facade of what could be the best opportunity for you as a young kid, and no one really quite knows how it's going to turn out. But I had the ambition, I had the motivation, and I was ultra competitive since a young age. You know, to go from the academy to the second team, to the first team, to Red Bull Leipzig, I could never have imagined that would have been my pathway, especially being from Wappingers Falls, New York. You know, to end up in Leipzig, Germany abroad, my dream was just to play soccer and have fun, and it's brought me so many amazing places. Jesse Marsch was, you know, amazing to me in my career. I don't even talk about him as a coach, because I think that would be undermining, you know, what he's meant to me in my career and in our lives. As a young kid, when you're trying to make a decision whether you should take the route of going to university and playing in school, or, you know, kind of foregoing that and, you know, dropping the opportunity to get a free education while playing and sign a professional contract. I mean, we sat in a room across the table from him, you know, my parents, my brothers, all of us, and he didn't try and sell us a sales pitch of why this is going to be so amazing for you. He talked about how I was going to grow and mature as a young man, and how he was going to help me do that as a leader and really just invest time in me. Anybody that's been in the football world knows that it's not all, you know, flowers and roses and pretty and everything goes as planned. And to say that everything he said in that room wasn't true would be, again, an understatement. Everything he said he was going to do, he's invested in myself, into my family, helped us on that journey. And we're incredibly grateful for him. You know, we talk to him on a personal level all the time. It's never just about football. We've been on this journey together, and, you know, although we've been apart at different stages of it, incredible person, incredible family.
People always go to me when we win the games. Man of the matches always go out to the big players up front who score the goals, and I understand that. I totally do. But to me, most weeks they say, "Who's your man of the match?" And I'm like, Tyler Adams. Without Tyler playing well, we don't get what we do. And the purist who knows what they're looking at and knows what they're watching, will look at the game and say, he's so important.
Being one of the smaller clubs that has the ambition of growing and doing things the right way, you buy into that right away. So when I heard the pitch, quote unquote, of why I should come here and it will help me take my game to the next level, I was bought in right away. And, you know, if people don't really know the side script of what happened, like, I was injured at the time. Like, there was no plans of when I could return, when I was going to return. There was like not really a timetable on my injury. So at that time I was already going through a difficult period, but I know that I would be able to have an impact on any team, is what I believed. I just needed the club to gamble and believe in me. And Bournemouth was the club to do that. And I'm so thankful for them taking that gamble. And, you know, I hope for them it's paid off, obviously. But it's just been the environment that I've needed. One that I've been able to, you know, come in every day, work, try and get better. There's no egos when you walk through the front door of the training ground or the stadium. It's all guys with the same ambition. And I think that, you know, playing under a manager like this, having good sporting directors, having, you know, an owner that believes and really wants to change the trajectory of the club. If I had to pick a club for this time in my life, this is where I need to be.